second factor you should consider, this one applies especially to the men, is economic or financial stability. If you check the book of Genesis 2:15, we are told God created Adam and put him in the Garden of Eden to dress it and keep it. That is Genesis 2 verse 15. And then it's from verse 21, that's when Eve appears. And remember, God now had already created Adam in the book of Genesis 2 from verse 8. And that sequence is very, very important. Read in between the lines in the scriptures. Man is created, given a job, then the wife comes. Have you ever found a family where people are eating love? They cook love and eat. People eat money. People eat food. People spend resources. And at the bare minimum, as a man, before you think of getting married, you must be financially stable. Not rich. It simply means you must be able to house yourself, provide food for yourself, be able to clothe yourself. Then the wife whom you intend to get, you should be able to provide all those things. Then before you bring kids, you should be able to provide all those basic needs on top of modern requirements like education, medical care, and such kind of stuff. That is the bare irreducible minimum. Plan for your family. How are they going to survive? Parents should calmly consider what provision can be made for their children. They have no right to bring children to this world to be a burden to others. Have they a business that they can rely upon to sustain a family so that they do not need to become a burden to others? These are principal questions which young people need to ask themselves. If they have not, they commit a crime in bringing children into the world, children who will suffer for lack of food, lack of clothing, and such kind of stuffs. And then there are parents who don't plan for their family. They don't consider what is our income. Then they bring very many children in this world. They can't clothe them properly. And these people, they start depending and asking for begging for help from church members, from relatives. They become a burden to others because they are giving birth to so many children and they have no plan of how to take care of them. And the moment you don't help them, enmity is created. That's not the way it should be. Before increasing their family, take into consideration what are our means. Can we be able to provide for them? So you don't need to be rich, but just make plans. Live according to your income. Bring children whom you are comfortable to take care of for the rest of your life. That's unless maybe when an accident occurs or something. Another issue you should consider when you are looking for a partner in marriage is you should marry someone that you love. Just because we have said they must be of your own persuasion in terms of faith, they must be financially stable. That does not mean you just go and look for those qualities in somebody and then you don't look at someone whom you love. Marry someone whom you are proud of them. You love them. You love their looks both in private and in public. You love how they dress. You love their posture, their general physical outlook. Very, very important. Don't just go and look for somebody whom, when they are they are relaxed, when their mouths are closed or their teeth are outside. And then you say, I'm just looking for a Christian. No, look for someone whom you are happy. You love the way they smile. When they smile, they make you weak. You know, as things progress in marriage, boredom might begin to set in. When that newness, novelty of marriage is over, you need someone. If you never loved that person when you are still courting, if that's the situation now, a few years down the marriage, you will really hate that person as things get worse. Their posture, everything will be an irritation. Anything they do will turn to be like a mistake. That's why we are saying, marry someone you love. Love their looks and so forth. Another issue is that issue of age. Now, listen very keenly. In the book of Genesis 2:7, God forms man, that is Adam. In verse 15, all the way to 18, he's told to dress it and keep it. And then in verse 21, Eve appears. What does that tell you? Who is older, the man or the woman? The man. And from my reading of some extra books, I've come to discover that actually Eve, his height was the length of the shoulder of who? Of Adam. Meaning Adam was older. Look at Isaac in the book of Genesis 24. He's a mature man looking for a wife. And when I've been reading other extra books, I've come to discover that time Isaac was 40 years old when he was looking for Rebecca. And he had gifts, expensive gifts, which he gave. That one we read in 24, 22 of Genesis. Meaning he was already working, having a means of income. And Rebecca had known no man. That's Genesis 24:16. In the book of Ruth, chapter 3, we are told Boaz was a mature barley farmer before meeting Ruth. What do we learn from these stories in the scriptures? Mature men, older men, going and meeting and picking their wives, women who are younger. Why are we learning this? In a book called Adventist Home 80.4, it says, Satan is constantly busy to hurry inexperienced youth into marriage alliance. And these attachments have often resulted in very wretched unions. A youth not out of his teen, that's Adventist Home 79.4, a youth not out of his teens is a poor judge of the fitness of a person that they should become their wives. Meaning if you are 13, 14, 15, up to 19, you should not be in such issues of relationship. You are too young. Your brain is not yet even mature. You know, when I was young, we used to stick our fingers in our noses. Then we pick some stuff from our noses. Then we look at it. Then it ends up in our tongues. Can you do that today? No. Why? Your brains are mature. So if you start making permanent decisions, for example, issues of marriage, when you are still young and your brains are not yet mature, 5 years later you look back at yourself and think, what was I thinking when I was looking at this young man as a potential wife, as a potential husband or wife? That is why it's advisable. People who are below 21, focus on your education. Leave marriage for those people who are mature, people who have cleared their education and so forth, to think and plan about such stuff. Also, there should not be a great age gap between the man and the woman. You yourself, ask yourself, what's the gap between your father and mother? You'll discover maybe 95% of all people, the father is older than the mother by around 5 years, 3 years, 4 years, 6 years. But it should not be an age gap that is just too big, whereby maybe the man is 60 and the woman is 25. When the man is at 80, the firstborn is a teenager. Can't even be disciplined because the man is old, a grandfather about to die. That age gap should be much smaller than that. Thank you for that. Keep tuned in.